Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the boxing capital of the world. Well, this weekend, the 29th, we have some fights coming up. Big fight, Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. It's a welterweight championship unification fight. It's going to be a good one. But today we have a special guest in the boxing business, two-time heavyweight champion, none other than Pinklon Thomas. Pinklon Thomas, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, Joe, what's going on? How you
All
feeling?
right, all right, champ. Nice to see you again. We spent some nice time a couple of weeks ago in Florida at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. It was an honor meeting you and your beautiful family, and your grandson, that little guy, is a little rascal. He's gonna be a champion one day.
Well, I hope he can do what he want to do, man. But he loving it. I'm raising him in it. He's all around it, and that's all he know. He listens to that, and he listens to the gospel, to keep him going.
Yeah, I hear
But I
you.
like your introduction, man. I dug that Vegas scene. It took me back, gave me some memories, man.
It brings some memories when you came out here and you fought for the heavyweight championship, and you fought Tim Witherspoon.
Still with us, man.
Tim Witherspoon
Yeah.
for the first championship, and then you fought Mike Weaver for the second heavyweight championship, right?
Yeah. Hey, you know what, Joe? My first fight, I fought at the Silver Slipper.
Silver Slipper, small
And,
place. Okay.
yeah, that was in '79, I think it was.
How many
And
rounds?
I fought a guy named Leroy Caldwell.
Okay, how many rounds was that?
That was 10.
10 rounds. Did it go to distance and
10
you knocked
rounds.
him
I
out?
knocked him out a minute and 43 seconds or something of the 10th round.
Oh, 10th round. Wow.
Yeah.
So you got to go work
Big
out.
guy.
You got to go work out. How's he doing these days? Is he still kicking or what?
I don't know, man, but Leroy, he was a big, strong dude. He had about 5 wins. They said, he was looking for him to knock me off, because he was 5-0, had a winning streak. But I put it on him, man. I put it on him.
That was it. So that was your coming out in Las Vegas. Silver Slipper. Yeah, that's one of the original hotels that held boxing back in the old days. You said that was back when, in
Yeah.
79?
That was in '79. Yeah, you know what? I got lucky when I got there. It was the first time I played slot machines. I won about $300,
Oh, okay.
and I felt real good about that. So when the fight, it was funny. The guy who started me, Roland Jenkinson, he was out of Seattle, Washington, and Roland Jenkinson, and my first trainer, his name was Joe West,
Joe
and
West.
he was from California. He trained a guy named Al Ford, and throughout the fight, he had one fight, Ben Benuti, and me, Joe, and Jack Stafford. We went there, and in my 10th fight, and Joe was kind of upset with Roland because he said, man, oh, Lord, Pink, this guy done put you in tough, And I said, well, what's going on? And he said, man, no, this guy, he's a tough guy, And I said, I ain't worried about it. So I was doing my road work. I was in Seattle,
Yeah.
And Seattle had a lot of hills. And, one hill, man, I ran. The last day I ran, I remember running about a half a mile, going straight uphill, man. And the next thing you know, Joe, I took off, man. It looked like I was running with the cars, man, finishing, And I finished strong. And when I finished, at the end, I knew I was ready.
Yeah. Well,
So here we go.
he's
We go to Las Vegas, and I got Jack, I got Joe, and I got Roland. We all in the dressing room. And Leroy Jones was, I'm gonna say, not Leroy Caldwell, he was from there,
right.
And they were chanting, Leroy, Leroy, Leroy. And Joe used to smoke them more cigarettes. You can smoke. Joe was smoking his more cigarettes, and Jack was, he was just sitting down, pacing, and rolling. He was going back and forth. And they're saying, Thomas, it's time to come out. And I'm looking at this. I'm looking at Joe smoking his cigarette, Jack sitting over looking crazy, and Roland pacing the floor. And I said, hey, man, come on, man. I said, I'm going to knock this bum out. I said, Joe, get in front. Jack, get behind me. Come on, Roland, let's go. I remember that clear as day when we went out there chanting, Leroy, Leroy, Leroy. And yeah, I was 9-0 with 8 knockouts then, you know.
Wow,
And
amazing.
so, man, we go into the ring. I'm looking at this guy, man. He built like Samson, you know, and look a big, strong dude. And he was this winning streak. He had won 5 straight. And so I went in there. The first round was hell, you know. Second round, fourth round, man. You know, each round was a battle. You know, we was knocking each other off on the ropes, and boy, it got to the ninth round. They say, Joe said, "Pink, you are not gonna win this fight unless you knock this guy out."
Wow,
He said because you know the crowd is behind him, you know, and man, we went out that 10th round, man, and we was rumbling. And man, I don't know where the right hand come from either, Joe. You know, I never threw it right. I was left, you know, I'm lefty. I used the left jab. And the next thing you know, man, that as the clock was ticking down, boom, I hit him. I hit him with one of them shots like I hit Mike Weaver with, you know. And when I hit him, he went down. And when he went down, man, I just went back to my corner. I ain't stand there. I ain't do nothing because I knew he wasn't getting up, you
Oh
know.
wow, that's right.
But I was there when the janitor swept him up. He cleaned him up.
So that was your first fight in Las Vegas. Yeah, okay. Now
Yeah,
you know
it was,
you
yeah.
talked about Mike Weaver, the way you knocked out Mike Weaver. But I remember when Mike Weaver he won the heavyweight championship, against John Tate, he was losing. He was losing by a landslide. He was losing every round, just about. And the last round, seconds to go to the last round, he threw a right
15
hand and he
seconds.
knocked out John Tate. He knocked him out cold, right?
Yeah, that was beautiful. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, man! You never forget that.
And now,
Yeah.
but then you fought Mike Weaver your second time around, and you beat him you knocked him out for the heavyweight championship again. A two-time heavyweight
Yeah,
champion.
yeah, it was for the title, first title defense. Yeah.
Tim Witherspoon was your first championship fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you knocked him out, or
No,
you beat him a decision.
now I beat him on decision. You know, You know what happened with Tim. You know, Tim. You know, he's from South Philly. You know, and he had Slim Perkins, and I had Georgie Benton. You know, so Georgie from North Philly. You know, both of them had fought in the amateurs when they were young.
Yeah.
You know, so we got that.
George Benton from Philadelphia is a good trainer from Philadelphia.
Yeah. So Georgie was training me. We was training at Frazier's, you know.
Yeah.
And so when I got the call to fight Tim Witherspoon, all I could think about is, you know, that Philly style, you know. I knew, you know, all I wanted to do was to out-hustle him now in the Philly style. I know how Slim had trained him, and I had all that Georgie Benton in me, you know.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to beat him to the punch, I had to beat him to the punt, and I had to have good reflex. I had to build a little timing. So that's why I was just trying to stay up ahead of Tim, you know, and it helped me out a lot. And I was able to pull it off, you know. But me and Tim, you know, I love him, man. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, good guy. So let me ask you a question. How did you first get started in boxing? Who inspired you?
Oh, you know the greatest, man. Well, let me tell you though, my father, when I was real young, about 7, 8 years old, my father always used to talk about Joe Louis,
Right.
him and his buddies, you know.
Yeah.
They'd sit around, they'd be drinking and reading the Bible. And my mama would be mad, you know, because they drinking and then they arguing about the Bible. But Joe Louis would always come up. And I heard my father say, man, I remember, he was telling the guy, I remember when I lost my whole paycheck to Joe Louis and Max Schmeling, when he fought Max Schmeling.
Yeah, the German fighter.
Yeah. And I asked my father, I said, Daddy, how much money did you lose? He said $14, and it was some kind of change, you know. And, you know, I started laughing. And he said, man, that was a lot of money then, you know.
It was, yeah.
This paycheck for the week, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he always used to hear about the Joe Louis stories. And then back in the day, it wasn't Bernie Casey. It was another Joe Louis story that came on in the 30s. I can't remember, but it was the first one, I think. And, oh, my God, I used to love that movie and Chappie. his trainer was Chappie. And, you know, it inspired me. I sit down and watched the movie. And then they was in a restaurant one time and they was sitting down and they was eating. They went and they was talking. And then when they came back, no, the first time, Chappie seen a fly and he snatched it and he caught it.
Yeah, that,
And
right.
yeah. And he told Joe, he said, when you can do that, you know, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And the next, you know, they had another scene where they came back to the restaurant and they were sitting in there and there was a fly buzzing around. And Joe caught it. Wow. You know, Joe caught it and him and Chappie, you know. But, you know, it was the camaraderie between the trainer, the fighter, you know, and Joe Louis style, my father, you know, he talked about him. And I used to study so much. I studied old real film and VHS film on Joe Louis, you know.
Yeah, old school.
But, yeah, old school stuff.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, when Muhammad came out, you know, I mean, that was the combination of, you know, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali. God, how can you go wrong with them two, you know? And I just love both of them, man.
I was looking at a picture the other day of Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis together. You know, when
Really?
when Muhammad Ali was coming up, he was heavyweight champion of the world, and he was out here in Las Vegas, and Joe Louis was working at Caesar's Palace. He was like a host, a casino host. You know, he would meet and greet the people in the casino. They still have a statue, a big white statue of Joe Louis posing at Caesar's Palace. I don't know if you've seen it. And that was in the casino.
Yeah, I have.
And it's still in the casino to this day, you know. And that was the days when Joe Louis was really, you know, already been retired. But yeah, Muhammad Ali used to look up to Joe Louis just like you looked up to both of those guys. Those are two great legends in boxing. Yeah.
Well, you know, man, you know, I mean, they're an inspiration not only to me, but there's so many. And, you know, you're talking about serious, real legends, man, you know. I just, you know, Joe, he had about 11 title defenses or something like that.
Yeah.
Joe.
How do you see boxing today compared to the days when you were fighting, when you were heavyweight champion? How do you see those fighters today?
You know, Joe, to be honest with you, man, I look at certain fights, you know, the fights that they highlight, you know, but you know, it's just not like it used to be, you know. As I watch the fights, I try to look for the, you know,
the skills,
the technique, the technique and the skills, you know, and I don't see them, you know, I just see, you know, endurance, stamina, they're trying to work, you know, and doing their thing. The basic junk is nothing really serious.
Yeah,
you know, so it don't excite me like it used to.
Yeah, so do you think that you would call them palookas? So these call those guys back in the day, that's a palooka. He ain't nothing, he's a palooka. You think we got a bunch of palookas? You think we got a bunch of palookas out there today?
Yeah, I ain't gonna knock it, nobody.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, you know, they're not the same class when you were fighting.
No, they not. You know, I got a fighter, but he's, you know, he's like 28. But I've been training for about 5 or 6 years, and I've taken about 75, 80 pounds off of him. And I've trained him. He had an amateur fight. He lost. He was depressed, but he used to be a kickboxer before that. And he's, you know, I'm like his dad, you know?
Yeah.
And now I got him, you can see his ribs. He's about 159, 60 pounds.
Wow.
I've trained him from the ground up, you know? And so with him, and I'm gonna try to make some noise with this kid where you're gonna see what you're gonna see, you're gonna see that old school stuff and technique, and I think that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Some of these guys, you know, what happened is like some of the great trainers, well, most of the great trainers are gone,
Right.
and the fighters that they've trained, they're not training the fighters like they, like they were trained.
Yeah, like I say sometimes you got to train the trainers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some of these trainers, they're okay, but you know they're not old school. Old school, you know, a lot of techniques, a lot of ring mechanics. You know, you see a lot of guys, you know, they block the punch, and all they do is block it. I say, you block it, boom, and counter with it. You know, a lot of guys they block,
yeah.
and they don't capitalize on it. If you block a punch, you block, and you counter punch. A lot of guys don't do that. A lot of trainers don't teach. You show them how to block, bang, block it, and come back with your punch. Don't just block and stay there. You know, a lot of guys, and you got to keep them moving their head, moving. They're too stationary sometimes. They're too stationary. What happens is that you're going to get hit. It's hard to hit a moving target.
Yeah. Listen, see, you spelled it all out, man.
You got to kill the body and the head dies, right?
That's right. That's what Joe said too.
You know, a lot of guys they don't work the body enough. They're all headhunters. They try to go for the knockout. You got to move, boom, hit the body, get to the body, then come to the head. You know, move, and jab, constantly moving and moving to your right. A lot of these guys, all they do is move to the left. Move to your right. Yeah. Get away from the power punch. If the right hand's coming this way, you go away from it. Don't walk into it.
But you know what, Joe, and I got a program called Project Pink Pride Neighborhood Kids, and I had 4 kids in my gym that just about a couple of hours ago. I had to rush and take a shower to get dressed to come on. And all of them have different talents, man. You know, here's a kid, 12 going to the 7th grade, you know, play trumpet, play jazz. I just found out. The other kid, he's a computer geek. The other kid is a ventriloquist. He's about 10.
Okay.
Him and his dad, you know, doing magic and all that stuff.
That's good.
So that's what my program's all about, you know, kids bringing their talent and stuff. But they're working, they're training, and all of them are really good, you know. So, you know, I don't know, man.
There's a lot of history behind you. I was reading your book, you know. Your book is an amazing book. A lot of story about Back from the Edge of Hell, the autobiography of 2-time heavyweight champion Pinklon Thomas. That's a great book. You can buy it on Amazon. Okay, go in there. Pinklon Thomas, 2-time heavyweight champion. Back from the Edge of Hell. Now you went through a lot. You went through a lot of tough times coming up, and it got you got back on the right track and become a heavyweight champion. And look at you right now. I saw you the other day. I couldn't believe you look. You're in better shape now than when you were fighting as a heavyweight champion. You're trim.
I feel like it too. You know.
Yeah, and it looked like you got it all up here. You think like a young man. You look like a young man. You act like a young man. You are a young man.
Thank you, man.
You are a young man. Okay.
Oh yeah. Hey Joe, you know, in passing, as you were, you know, doing your thing, and you know, I've been in arenas where you know you did shows, and I don't know if you ever did one of my fights, but I always watch you, man, and you was one of the best out there, man. You did it, and I appreciate you, man, what you brought to the game, and you know, because it's not a lot left like you, man. You know who really know the game and know how to teach it, and you talk it and give out people still opportunities to come on and express themselves. I appreciate you, man.
Well, you know, having you on the show is an honor because, you know, meeting you the other day, 2 Saturdays ago, in Fort Lauderdale, where I was a keynote speaker at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, you know, you came up to me and I said, wow. I said, I couldn't believe Pinklon Thomas, the former heavyweight champion of the world. You're so sharp, and your grandson, your family, your wife, your daughter, everybody was there. It was such an honor meeting your beautiful family. It was so nice, you know, and seeing how sharp you were. I said, man, I got to get you on my show. You said, yeah, Joe, I want to go on your show, you know. and here we are today, you know. We made it happen because I think that people, I look at fighters like you, you're an inspiration. You're a good man. You're a religious man. you believe in God, you believe in faith, you believe in helping people out there, you pay it forward. You know, that's the way I am. I like to teach people. I like to help people. I like to pay it forward. That's the best way to be in this life. And always think positive. A lot of people, you know, they think negative, constantly wake up in the morning, you know, they're all upset about it. Hey, thank God that you're alive. You woke up, your eyes are open, you get your feet on the ground, you get off the bed, your feet on the ground, you say, thank God, I'm alive, I'm going to go forward. You know, keep doing things to help people out there. A lot of folks just thinking negatively that they can't make it, they can't do this, they can't do that. Oh, looking for excuses. I don't look for excuses. I make things happen in life. You know, at my age, I still got a little spark of the old flash. I want to keep going forward.
Man, you got a lot of spark, man. You're a great inspiration, I tell you. And, you know, the same thing you're saying, man, is just what I do on a daily basis. Man.
Exactly.
You know, not only the kids, the corporate guys, to people I train, man. I train different people, different ones for weight loss or what have you, and I just keep them inspired and motivate them. Once you get out of the bed, your feet jump out of bed, hit the floor, man, you know, and you got breath in your body, you got air and opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
All you got to do is take it. And what you think you can't do, man, you know, all you got to do, man, is have faith, you know, believe in God, knowing that, you know, He'll make a way for you, you know?
Exactly.
We don't know which direction we're gonna go. I mean, we know what direction we want to go, you know, but it might not go in that direction.
That's
but,
right.
God always has something a little better for us, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you know,
we have faith.
God has a plan for you, you know. He knows what He got to do for you.
Yeah.
You just got to believe that things are going to happen no matter what. Things are going to happen one way or the other. But always think positive. Always say, I can do it. I'm going to make things happen. But always help your brother. Give a helping hand. Bring that guy up. Help somebody out there all the time. And that's the way you are. Yeah. I know this is the way you are with young folks out there, with everybody. You're a true champion, not only inside the ring, but outside the ring as well. And that's what's important.
Well, try to stay in touch with those who I fought, who was in my era, who was a little bit outside of my era.
Right.
And, you know, I'm getting inducted into the Atlantic City Hall of Fame September the 29th.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for you, brother. I'm gonna be there.
You coming down?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be there for you.
That's a great pleasure, man.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for sure. You know.
I know you did the number with George Foreman and Michael Moore, right?
Correct. I refereed that fight. That's one of the highlights of my career. That's one of them. You know, I refereed 176 World Championship fights. But that one stands out as one of the great ones because, you know, George Foreman, you know, he fought, he became champion, heavyweight champion, then he got bumped off.
He was old as heavyweight champion, yeah.
And then he came back 20 years later. He got into his religion, you know, he believed in God. Yeah. He was a Christian man. And still to this day, he's a pastor in Houston, Texas at his church. And he came back and becomes heavyweight champion of the world. I did him against Jerry Cooney in Atlantic City. He knocked Jerry Cooney out in two. He knocked him out in 2 rounds. He knocked out Jerry Cooney in 2 rounds. Then he fought Jerry Coetzee up here in Reno. Yeah. And I think I stopped, in the 7th or 8th round. I stopped it. Foreman won again. And then they put me in to referee him against Michael Moore for the heavyweight championship. That was an unbelievable night. It was a punch heard around the world when he knocked out Michael Moore. Because George was losing. George was losing just about every round. And the 10th round, he hit him with that straight short right hand. Bam!
Yeah. Me and my wife, we were sitting up going through it. She kept saying, Mike, he hit him with it. And I seen George just kept tapping him hitting him with that right hand. And I said, he's softening him up, you know?
Yeah.
And by the 10th round, he hit him, man. And when he hit him, man, it was...
And when and Moore was on his back, and I was counting 5, 6, 7. When I said to myself, this guy, he's not going to get up. I said, 8 and 9. He was trying to get up that 10, and that was it. And I looked to my left, and Foreman looked up. He looked up. He got on his knees. He looked up, like thanking God. He couldn't believe he'd become heavyweight champion of the world again. The punch heard around the world. People all excited. The place was going crazy. Yeah. You know, next day, people could say the man 45 years of age becomes heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah. And that was a great night.
It's going to be a great thing to be able to go down there and be inducted with him, along with Shannon Briggs and David Tour.
Yeah.
You know, we all going in together, man. So it's a real cool thing.
Yeah, I referee some of those guys. I know David too. I referee him against Lennox Lewis a while back.
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that could be guy.
Good friend. Yeah.
It'd be nice to see my good friend Benji Estevez, referee. He's going to be inducted tonight
Yeah.
too. So there'll be a lot of individuals going to be inducted. It'd be good going back to my old stomping
Yeah.
grounds, Atlantic City. I refereed there for 15.
You know it. You know it.
I refereed there for
Yeah,
15
I
years.
had a few fights there.
I refereed there for
Yeah.
15 years. Sometimes we had a referee Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know, there was that much boxing
that
back in
was
the.
the 80s. You know, that's when the 80s, that was when boxing was boxing.
Yes, I boxing and all the good fights, and I was constantly working there. Sometimes I had to stay there 2 or 3 nights because no use of me driving back home 3.5 hours. I had to be back the next day, so I would stay there. You know, it was amazing.
Yeah, I fought Coach Sia, Fonzo Ratliff. I fought a guy, Trial Horse, Leroy Boone, Johnny War.
You know, I got to look at the box record. I got to see if I referee any of your fights. I might have refereed one of those fights of yours in Atlantic City. You know,
You could have, man. I'm not sure, man. But I know that Atlantic City, man, was like home because I was staying in Philadelphia at that time.
Yeah. Well, that's where your trainer was from. That's where George Benton was from, Philadelphia. He was a good middleweight fighter himself.
George Benton was a great guy. He was a hell of a trainer too.
Yeah.
He used to train us at Joe Frazier's gym, man.
Exactly.
George would come in a suit.
Yeah.
I remember when Georgie, you know, back in the early '80s, you know, he wasn't kicking it like he was doing, you know, but he had Rocky Lockwood, Johnny Bumpers, he had Tex Cobb, he had Earl Hargrove. He had a few fighters, you know. Johnny, what's his name? Alex Ramos. I used to watch it. We used to be training, man. They had the music on.
Yeah.
And then we go to Atlantic City.
Yeah, Alex Ramos was from the Bronx. They called him the Bronx Bomber, Alex Ramos.
The Bronx Bomber.
Yeah. Now,
I had a ball with them guys, man.
Yeah, now I remember when you were training here. When you were training here in Vegas, I was not here yet. I got here in '92, but you were training at Johnny Taco's gym, and Johnny.
Oh yeah.
And Johnny Taco.
I trained him for the championship.
Yeah. When for the champion, you were training out of his gym. Yeah,
you know what? It was a great experience I had there, man.
A lot of great champions. Sonny Liston used to train out of that gym. You know,
did he?
Yeah, Sonny Liston trained out of Johnny Taco's gym.
Yeah.
Back in the days, yeah. But I'll tell you,
you know one thing I did one day. I was getting ready. I think I was getting ready to fight. Witherspoon, man, and I was training, and I had old Tommy Hawkins, the old little guy who worked with me, and he used to stay there, and he'd say, 20 seconds, baby, you know, and I'd be, I'm hitting the back. And HBO was like right there, you know?
Right.
10 seconds, baby.
Hit the speed back, yeah.
5 seconds, baby. And when he said time, I hit the bag, man, and I bust the bag. The bag said boom. And God dog it, you know. I never got that from HBO. I wanted to have that because that was a hell of a thing.
Yeah, that was a highlight clip to have for the rest of your life. Bam, hit that barrel, bing, hit it in bag buzz. Man.
You hear it buzz, boom, like a bomb, you know?
Yeah.
You know, At the end of the round.
Well, Pinklon, we're looking forward to seeing you in Atlantic City on September 28th and the 29th. They're going to be having the event there. We'll be seeing David Tour will be there, Benji Estevez, and a couple of other great ones are going to get inducted into the Atlantic City Hall of Fame, where I refereed, like I said, 15 years of my career with Atlantic City, so it has a lot of great memories. I'm sure a lot of fans out there got to make sure you come out there. And also, don't forget to get this book, Back from the Edge of Hell, the autobiography of two-time heavyweight champion Pinklon Thomas. You guys don't miss it. This is a great book, amazing. You got to get it on Amazon. Read a little bit more about my good friend Pinklon Thomas, two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
You know, I'm 34 years clean. Clean from all the craziness, the lifestyle, and the craziness that go along with it.
That's all in this book. It's all in this book.
Yeah.
It's all in here.
Yeah, it's all in there.
People want to know more about.
I want whoever to get it, pass it on to somebody who might have an issue or a problem. going on. It might give them some inspiration.
We got to do. They got to do a movie about the great Pinklon Thomas. You got a hell of a record behind you. A great
Hey,
story.
Joe, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, man. It's coming.
All right. It'll be great when that book comes out. Well, Champ, it's a pleasure having you on the show today. It's an honor, and I'm looking forward to seeing you September 28th, 29th in Atlantic City at the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. Take care, brother. God bless you always, and keep your guards up at all times. And remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. And two-time heavyweight champion, Pinklon Thomas, take care. Love to the family. Love to all. God bless.